In this video we're just going to go over a few of the extra features of rankCARE that we didn't cover in the new project video. Here, if we want to actually export the data, we can export the data as a raw CSV file, which will contain only the values of the sites and areas in the CSV format, or we can export it in a CSV format with headers. This will include the names of the parameters and the names of the sites and the areas. These files can then be opened in a spreadsheet program such as Excel or OpenOffice Calc, and the values can all be edited much easily, or charts can be created that way. If we then want to bring that data back into the program, we can go to the Import Edit Raw Data window, which will look familiar from the new project tutorial. From here we can manually edit any of the values, or we can import from the CSV file. Now there's two buttons here. One will import from a CSV file that's in the format of the raw exported CSV file, and the other one will import it from a file that was exported with headers. It's important that when you're editing a CSV file in Excel or another spreadsheet program to keep the exact formatting as it was exported in. That way the program can then just re-import it and replace all the values or change area names and sites or parameter names, and it will have no problems. Now, the next thing I wanted to cover was editing project settings. After you've actually created a project, you can go in and add extra parameters or change the project name and modify other areas of the project. Now, some of these features will actually require you to re-enter the raw data, so it's a good idea to export it as a CSV before doing this, because deleting some areas or parameters or sites will actually mean that the raw data will need to be re-entered. But that's a simple process, and it's exactly the same as creating a new project. Now, next up I was wanting to just show that the project can be locked. If you're an administrator and you want to lock a project before distributing to other people, that can be done by selecting Lock from the File menu and then just entering the password twice. Once that's done, you'll be prompted if you wish to save your changes. If you click yes, it will save as a locked file, ready to be distributed. If you click no, the file will be locked, but it won't actually be saved. You can see whether a file is locked or not by this little wording up here in the title. Now that it's locked, I'm unable to actually edit any of the dot points. So I'll just unlock this so we can continue. Now the final thing to cover here is the changelog. This is a window which lists every single change that has been made to the project since inception. The changes are logged next to a time and date, and the user as they were logged into the Windows machine at the time, along with a description of the actual change that was made. Here we can print the log, we can save it as a comma-separated value, or most importantly, we can revert to a selected line. If I can scroll down and find a date where I wish to roll back to, simply need to select that line and click Revert. That will then delete all the changes that were made past that point and bring us back to a previous point in time. The important thing to note is that if you save the project after rolling back like that, you will lose all of those changes that you deleted. That pretty much covers it for the moment, and the only other thing I will cover is the advanced chart editing capability. If you right click anywhere in the chart, you can actually go to Properties, and from here you're able to change the colours, the fonts, the overall presentation of the chart. This won't actually modify any of the underlying data, but it will come in handy if you're wishing to add this to a report or a presentation that must keep a certain colour scheme, or otherwise some sort of format that you want to stick with. Nearly everything to do with the chart can be modified from in here, and the changes will be immediately reflected on the chart. From here they can be printed, copied or saved as an image, and when you're done you can hit reset, which will just reset it to how it was before. Thanks for listening.